There's that one. I know that, yeah. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're viewing us from, good morning, good day, good evening in some parts. And it's good to be here at the Bushes playing field finally to be able to bring you some live coverage of the Windward Islands, the Winlott Windward Islands Under 15 tournament taking place right here in beautiful Spice Country. And we are at the scenic Bushes, which many would say is a beautiful ground, but it's beneath the sea level, and so it tends to keep lots of water. But we have nice dry conditions, and we hope that we can bring you today's encounter. With me is Justin Hector, and we are going to be bringing you the ball-by-ball coverage in this encounter, Grenada versus Dominica. Dominica, the leaders of the tournament, they have won 2 from 2. And Grenada, they won their first match yesterday, defeating St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent, who defeated St. Lucia previously in the days before. And so it's going to be a very interesting matchup here today. The winners will go even further. If Dominica wins, they go even further. If Grenada wins, it means that they will be joint leaders with Dominica. So welcome, Justin.
Yes, good morning. And I want to anticipate a very good game. In fact, because of the rain, we know things were not able to run on schedule as they were supposed to. And of course, this morning, quite a bit of mopping up had to be done in order to get play started. But all kudos to the ground staff who has worked feverishly to ensure that we have some cricket at this time. And one looks with anticipation as to how it's going to go, the conditions. I think so far we have only seen one ball, and from what we have seen so far from the pitch, there has been and over the head, almost giving it away there, Junior Macmillan. But positive intent though.
Yes, certainly positive intent. Macmillan, who I think Team Grenada has looked at, certainly to give them some good starts, has not really gotten off as he may like, but certainly he has the opportunity today just to put on his head and really give them what they knew he can give them.
Of course, a game reduced to 38 overs. That's a long time to bat, and of course so they have to just put their bottle down and bat for long and accumulate a reasonable score. What we have seen so far, is maybe quite good bounce and carry. So, and that's always very good for batters. They like the ball coming onto the bat and being able to play through the line of the ball sometimes. And so we'll see how that goes if it continues that way.
Certainly, looking at the conditions, the wicket seemed to have a decent carry. Ball is bouncing nicely. Tells you that the stroke play will be interesting. You can play through the line of them once you get over the ball, so the pitch seems to be ready for run scoring.
Yes, just seeing Macmillan just beating a bit there with again a delivery that probably just moved away slightly and bounced a bit. But this movement we've seen throughout the tournament at all venues so far.
Shot of a length. Well taken by the keeper. Dominicans, they will be very choppy. You expect them to be choppy. They are the leaders of the tournament. They've been playing well. They had some really good scores, good totals. And Grenada did give them a run for their money in the first encounter. So you expect these two teams to really battle it out here today. Macmillan defends nicely. Still not looking assured as one would hope that he will be.
Yeah. Almost defending though, but almost facing a wide mid wicket. Not really side on with the ball, so could have been part of the issue, part of the problem. Again, a young man, he has time to fix that.
Yeah, he certainly does, as over number 1 comes to an end. And Joseph, he has bowled the first over. That's Jason Joseph. Only 2 runs coming from the over, so good start for Dominica in terms of they haven't bowled any wides or any extras. And we saw that plague them quite a lot. So it seems like they're learning and they're correcting some of the errors.
And of course, the Grenadian, the batsmen out there and those to come will be seeing at this what the condition offers, and a good indication as to what the condition offers.
Well, it's going to be Jovan Francis. And he's taking up the attack. He's the striker, rather. It's the bowler coming from the pavilion end. And that of Dylan John. His partner in his captain, Joshua Joseph, with the new ball.
It will be interesting to see as we progress that area. We saw a puff of sand just coming up, because that was one of the areas that were very saturated. And you see how the bowlers managed to run through there. So far so good for him. I guess he's not a big 250 pounder, so he doesn't go bungling in. Just kisses the surface.
Well, it works well for them. They're pretty young, pretty light. So the good thing is that the surface it's hard. Even if the sand is there, it's still hard. So it does make for a good foot placement and everything else. Again, this one just outside the off stump. Francis just fleeing at it a little bit. Not really any conviction in terms of his shot. Just seemed to be resting the bat there, hoping to make contact.
And of course, if these guys go on to play cricket at the next level and they will encounter conditions that are very foreign. And it's good that they, at an early age, they are exposed to different type of conditions so they can adapt.
John just pulling him a little wider.
Yeah.
Francis continues to go at it, hoping to make contact.
Yeah. And making that initial movement to cover the line of the ball, really. One can see the left foot almost planted just on our outside the leg stump, and trying to play it square.
Oh, here he is again, John. This time it's a bit fuller. Francis getting a little bat onto it. I think that might have saved him, because you can certainly see that it was stealing into the stumps.
He almost seemed surprised that he had gotten a full toss, and as a result of that, at the end of it, he just jabbed at it, and the ball coming off the inner portion and going away on the one side.
So John in his final delivery. Let's see what he does here. Again beats the bat outside the off stump. Well bowled, good over, good maiden over bowled by John. And certainly he has settled in well into his day's work.
So again, we have seen a beautiful wicket so far. We've only seen 2 overs, but good bounce, good carry. And I think that is what is vital, So.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. So Certainly, good start here for the Dominicans. Things have been relatively quiet. The Grenadian batters just seem to need to get their feet moving, get across to the ball, really make use of the conditions. I think it will only get better from here.
Yes, so we can see that despite the rain, the preparation, the pitch itself, excellent condition.
So it's going to be Jashawn Joseph. It's into Macmillan, who drives nicely, good contact. Can't pass the man there at mid-off. Does look a powerful lad, Macmillan.
Yeah, very tall, rangy type of player. So be able to get out to the pitch of the ball. Probably a little bit easier than the smaller players. And
this time he just leaves outside the off stump. And so showing that he has good temperament. He understands his batting parameters. I think really everyone is expecting that he will really stay there and produce the innings that Grenada needs. And there he goes hard over the top. It's going to run close to the boundary.
Yes.
Well fielded there. It does not go past the ropes. They complete 2 more.
Yes.
Again, good shot. Looking to use the aerial route. It's the power play. The fielders are in the 30-yard circle. So good options.
Yes, and that was hit rather cleanly. But again, just showing probably the fact that the outfield is still a little bit heavy. And maybe it's a shot that is out for. Maybe later in the day you might find him will get better result for shots.
Again, this one goes past the bat. Francis, good bounce, good carry. So this is lovely to see.
She's always had a lovely wicket. Always had bounce and carry, lovely wicket to bat on.
Certainly does look good from here. I had the opportunity to look at it earlier as Joseph, full delivery, stroked again. Down to the man at mid-off. Picks up another run.
Yes, so yeah, he has shown positivity, and that's really good to see. Very early on, he's shown in inclination to put bat to ball in a sensible manner, though, and also the fact that he decides that he's in there for the long haul. So he can leave a few deliveries. Of course, 38 overs, very long time to bat.
Yes,
can afford to build an inning.
You want to make sure that you get a feel as to the conditions and know exactly what you need to do. Outfield a little heavy, he has to make adjustments for that. Joseph completes the 3rd over after over number 3. Grenada batting first in this encounter, losing the toss. They were sent in to bat. They're 5 without loss.
Yeah, and so far no real alarms. I think that's important as the batsmen look to settle in. Of course, the Dominicans too have to acclimatize with the conditions.
Well, Hector, I'm going to leave you for a bit. I want to put a young man who would make his commentary debut with you, and that I expect that you're going to guide him through. As he may just have a little.
Sure, I'll be listening. Sure, I'll be listening to him because.
So,
for a long time I've been listening to him, so it's no problem. Yeah, welcome, we will. Welcome, we will.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you very much for having me, and good morning to the listeners and the viewers as well.
Yes. So far, very good morning, very good day. Quite a lots of sunshine. Something probably we hope we would have had from Sunday. That was not to be. But we're back here in Busheju, and of course, in fact, it's bowled him. Well, my apology. A good delivery, a delivery pitch right up to the batsman, and going through his defense, and Junior Macmillan goes bold. Grenada loses a first wicket, 5 for 1.
Yeah, I think a poor shot there by Macmillan. What he did, he didn't cover his off stump, and he got an in-swinger there from the bowler, which was a very, very good delivery. And Grenada so far the first blow, 5 for 1.
Yes, I think throughout the tournament so far, because we were making mention very earlier that there's been a lot of movement available at all venues. In fact, the ball was swinging quite a bit. And by this time, we expect these players to acclimatize and to get accustomed to that type of thing and find ways and means of combating it. But of course, they're youngsters and they will learn as they go.
Yeah, I must say that I think, due to the inclement weather for the last couple of weeks, a lot of moisture is in the air.
Yeah.
Most of the wickets are probably not as hard as we expect it to be. So I think that's one of the reasons for, the ball doing that much, especially within the air.
Yes, of course, he's been swinging prejudiciously through the air. And
one thing we must not take away the skill set of the bowlers as well.
Course.
Probably they would have well been taught and trained properly, to swing that ball late in the air. We have the new batsman, Niles. He's a very good player. He's been working hard lately on his game and hope that he can, put a good performance in here today.
yes, and done by one which swung really, really big yesterday also. So he probably should have that in the back of his mind. Yeah, 5 for 1. So not the type of start probably Grenada was hoping for, but a chance to build.
Definitely. But I must say, I was really impressed with the young Dominican bowler, Mr. John.
Yeah.
He runs up very smooth and nice, good run through, and he also swinging the ball both sides. So let's see, how well he can develop to go on to the next level.
Yes. And mentioning the next level, that's where we have the headache. The promises sometimes and the ability shown at this level sometimes isn't carried. Or you don't see it manifested later on.
The excellent defense there by Niles. He got across and put this one into cover for no run. First delivery looks good, but I really must say I'm impressed with the young, Dylan John.
Yes.
Dylan John from Dominica.
Yes. Well, Niles is a very confident player. A strong belief in himself and his ability. And he can't be too far away from something really good or something, just too high and probably going down the leg side.
Definitely. But late movement there by young John again.
Yes, again.
He's really, really impressive. He's coming in good pace at that level.
Yeah.
And he's one to look forward to. I think the selector should be looking at him in terms of his rhythm.
Yeah.
So far, he's only start over, but he still looks like one who can deliver.
So Niles still grimacing a bit. The ball struck him just on the inner portion of the leg, and you are, as an opening batsman yourself, you know what it's like to be struck in that general area.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not an easy one, but I can see Niles is a fighter.
Yeah.
So he's getting ready to face again.
Yeah, that's the problem. And again, you have to be very careful. So as you warm into your work, you have to bear in mind that this particular area, where there's lots of sand because it was very wet this morning. So the condition, though it is a bit, not perfect.
But I did heard you make mention of it. The sand there in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very conducive to cricket, especially as a young fast bowler. You want to make sure everything is proper for him.
That's right.
He's young, but still, let's see what happens. Driven to cover there. Yeah. Excellent shot there by Moti for no run. Yeah. So far, the Grenadan batsman, is looking positive.
Yeah.
I think Junior got a beauty. So you can't fault him for that, but still, Dominic can still staying on top of the game. Very good bowling by them thus far.
Yeah, and they certainly look the part in the tournament so far. Probably if they doesn't win it, we'll be very surprised because they certainly look a well-drilled unit.
But after doing some research, most of the guys, I think they have 5 players who played for Winlott last year.
Oops. So So one can clearly see that he's in the back of his mind, his footing. Might be a bit concerned about his footing and just seem to have lost the rhythm that he had probably earlier on.
But what happened is I think he would have come over the wicket instead of around the wicket. So that probably would have been a factor in regards to he's losing his rhythm.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, another over completed. Grenada 5 for 1.
Yeah. 5 for 1. So it's basically a rebuilding process for the Grenadian right now.
Both batsmen still yet to get off the mark. Francis faced 7 deliveries. Niles would have faced 4, and they're still looking to get off the mark. So let's see if they can get off the mark in this over.
Oh, again that movement away from the right hander, and very late movement too. Very difficult to deal with the ball when it's moving that late.
I think the conditions would have suited Dominica very, very well as well in regards to Dominica is a place that is always moist, always wet. And the bowler seems to be, relishing these conditions, getting it to swing very late. And they were properly drilled, it seems, as well.
Again, this time a little bit wide outside the off, so probably too wide to induce the batsman. And probably just getting away with it. The umpire having a look.
Francis seems to be very patient as well, and that seems to be what you want from the temperament you want from a U15 batsman. To be patient as possible, play every ball at his merit and try to bat as long as possible as well.
Of course, Joshan Joseph is one of the better bowlers in the tournament so far, and one can see again, very late outswing.
Very, very, very late outswing.
Probably Francis might do well to get that front part out towards the pitch of the ball,
What Francis will want to do is probably go closer to the off stump and have a look at it very late.
This time down the leg side, and wide signal by the umpire.
And also an excellent take there by the wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, following the tournament, this wicketkeeper probably want to be one of the better wicketkeepers in the tournament. His glove work is exceptional. I love to see his demeanor and the way he carries out himself so well. He's one as well. Probably you can look forward to, within the tournament. But so far the score is 6 for 1. Not a bad start here by the both teams. Grenada has been patient. Dominica is also being aggressive. Excellent take there by the wicketkeeper again.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
Well, just touching one down the leg side, and Francis has to go. 6 for 2, and Grenada in a bit of border.
Grenada in a spot of border, but I must commend, as I was speaking about earlier, how excellent glove work the wicketkeeper is.
Yes.
He would have made one step down the leg side, ball nipped back a little, and he would have excellent take there with the roll. And at that age, if you see that kind of talent, you have to commend it. So excellent take there by the wicketkeeper. Another wicket goes down for Grenada. And Dominica is on top of this game at this moment.
Well, Grenada will have to put something together, a very good partnership between these two. It's probably the most spicy wicket we have seen in the tournament so far. At the National Stadium on day 1, we did see a number of bunks, but it was like tennis ball bunks. The ball was gripping in the turf. Today, that beautiful wicket, the ball is coming onto the bat, is carrying nicely to the wicketkeeper. So it's also an opportunity too for the batsmen to settle in and make runs with the ball coming onto the bat.
Well, over the years, when you're looking at this playing field, especially the Busiju playing field, it's one of the better wickets in Grenada.
Too bad.
But what happens due to the conditions in terms of the rain, that's a place that attracts a lot of rain. So cricket is not really favorable playing here. But when it comes to the wicket, whenever cricket plays here, a lot of runs scores here. The wicket is phenomenal. The wicket is exceptional. Good bounce, good carry, and also a lot of runs scores here. So let's hope that one of the Grenadian batsmen can apply itself and go on to get a 50 here this evening.
Yeah, myself having played with Happy Hill for a number of years too. I know the conditions very well. As I always say, it's one of the best wickets to bat on when conditions are right. So there is Centil there. And probably a lot of Grenada success from here on will depend on this pair of the wicket. again. Ball tailing in to the left-hander. And he did well, just making sure that played it late, right under the eyes. He was able to negotiate it. 6 for 2. Of course, even as we speak, St. Vincent and St. Lucia is in battle at Lassages.
Excellent by young Saint-Hilaire. Saint-Hilaire would have a history in terms of his family, would have been very good, played cricket at the regional level.
Yes.
His uncle, I think, Nicosi Saint-Hilaire, was one of the leading run scorer in the last recent T10 that went. His father, Aaron Saint-Hilaire, he's a serious cricketer himself. Very disciplined. So I'll expect this young man will be, one to go on as well in regards to he's very humble. I've been noticing him, how his deportment around the team members, and it seems he could be a very good cricketer.
Yes, indeed, it could be. Yeah.
And after speaking about the wicketkeeper, sir, I must reiterate that he's a nephew of Gian, which is a Windward Island wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
So he's come from a rich wicketkeeping background.
Yes. And these things sometimes do rub off. You see a number of those guys who are who are second and third generation players, or players who have gone before, and one can see the difference in deportment and everything, and the cricket education. Yes. So we're set to continue. So John will continue.
So the both batsmen are here to get off the mark. We have Saint-Hilaire, who will have faced 2 deliveries, and we also have Niles, who will have faced 4 deliveries. Both batsmen on 0.
Short outside the off stump and bang through the offside. Short outside the off stump. And he may not go to the boundary. No, he doesn't. They gone for 1. They back for 2. Will they come for the 3rd? No. Oh, well, pretty late decision. And probably they should have gotten 3 there.
Yeah, definitely. I must say that. But when you look at conditions as well, and how thick the grass is, I think Niles would have taken away from the shot by running. I mean, that shot was caressed through cover, and so far Grenada seems to be recovering nicely. But here comes John again.
Down the leg side again. Have to be very careful that we don't strangle down the leg side, especially when the ball is swinging that late. So it's 8 for 2. Niles is on 2. Saint-Hilaire have not yet scored.
But after assessing the conditions, when John is bowling to the left-hander, he seems to be struggling a little bit more than when he's bowling to the right-hander. But John again in. Excellent delivery there outside the off stump. Well played, well bowled. Good cricket all around.
Yeah. Of course, he didn't commit himself, didn't push the bat at it. He just played inside and the ball swung away towards the wicketkeeper. But good areas, good line, good length. And of course, that continuous movement that will continue to create some sort of doubt and problems for the batsmen.
And Dominica is still staying attacking the mid-off short extra cover. They have a backward point, also have a short gully, and they also have a first slip. So they have a plan, what they're working with. You can see that.
Of course, there is enough to encourage them. Of course, lots of movement, but way too wide and signal wide. This one almost pitching on the edge of the pitch, and that's what you expect. You expect that at that level with on this age group where wides probably would dominate extras.
You will like for something like that not to happen, because at that age you want to be drilled properly, at least knowing the basics and trying to execute it properly. But in terms of the strength and conditioning, of the game, at that age, they're probably a little bit weak.
Yes.
But you still want the best for them and hope that everything goes well. Niles, looks good, looks the part, looks correct, and also John, in his foot over, you can see a little bit of tiredness coming in. but you still expect him to at least, bowl as proper as he can. So here comes John again.
Yes, again, good delivery and well played by Niles. Watching it carefully onto the face of the bat. And
that's what you want from that level of cricket, seeing the correct things being done. Bowlers running in properly, good run-up, good fluency, hitting the deck hard, and batsmen coming across and at least defending the wicket with, proper stroke play.
John goes in again to Niles. Niles this time outside the off stump and doesn't have to play at that one. Just outside, about a foot outside the off stump, and doing the correct thing, just watching it through to the wicketkeeper. They have lost a couple of wickets, 2 wickets for 10. So it's really about consolidation and just waiting on the bad balls to capitalize. Goals. Shot. Wow. That was short and that was dispatched in the most dismissive way you could think about. Short. Again, the beauty of the pitch. It was short, it came on and he pulled it in, and that went in front of square and that went like a rocket out to the boundary for 4.
I must commend the shot. He was shot. Christian rocked back with no respect and slapped this one in front of square for 4. I think that's one of the most clinical shots you will see at a young age. Regardless, that got to the boundary in less than no time. And so that speaks volume of him as well, that you cannot bowl shot to him. And also, the island would have been testing to see what he can, get off the wicket. But seems to be a good batting surface.
Yeah, very, very good batting surface. When I look at it this morning, walked out there and look at it, one could have seen almost like a sheen. So it means that, it would have come on very well compact. But you also want the youngsters to have the best conditions, the best pitches to bat and to perform.
So far, it's been an excellent tournament in regards to, they had a couple of games at the National Stadium, which, that's in terms of venue, that's one of our best venues. But, coming to Boucherjou, you must commend him as well. This wicket is one of the better wickets when it comes to Grenadian cricket.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we just beaten a bit outside the off stump.
Sentile looks the part. He just was a little bit slow on this delivery. Was beaten for pace, but nevertheless, I think he will be one to look forward to for the rest of the game today.
Indeed. Okay, outside the off stump, maybe a bit too wide outside the off stump to bother about it. Maybe just allow it to go through. We're looking to hit it square, just behind point on the offside, didn't make contact. Very diminutive figure, Sentilla. That's a delivery again. This time short and well in behind it.
Well in behind it.
Yes, and played it out on the offside.
I must say it's excellent day for cricket here. This morning at Boucherjou, we had out for a late start, but since then, the weather has been spectacular. The sun is out, and so far, as the day progresses, it will get a little bit harder. And I hope that no rain don't come today, and the guys can get at least a full day of cricket.
Short again outside the off stump, too wide to really create any kind of problems for the batsman. Did SA probably a little stare down behind point. He didn't not making contact. Boucherjou, in terms of the weather, it's always sometimes one extreme or the next. You see the rain or very hot sun. Again, looking to probably just pull the bat inside. And didn't really push at it, just allow it, just sort of curl the bat inside and allow it to go through to the wicketkeeper. So
what I must say about Sentile, he's playing the ball as late as possible. He's very intentional in terms of his decision making. He's there, he's watching it late. So I think it's intentional that he's letting it go past his bat. Another over had come to an end. Grenada 14 for 2 in a state of bother in terms of recovery mode, but so far Dominicans is still applying some pressure, and we'll have a change of bowling.
Yes, so Niles is on 6, and Hilaire is yet to score. I don't think that would bother him too much. He's looking to dig in. So it's still John continuing though. Yeah?
Yeah, still John.
Still John continuing from the pavilion end. Yes, let's call it that. I was wondering whether we should say the northern end or the southern end, but the pavilion end would be correct. Down the left side there, just coming off the thigh area and dropping away on the onside. And Muti been through the walls this morning, been banged about a bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the second hit you would have been taken. One
Yes.
to the groin and one to the thigh.
yes.
But he's fighting, and he's fighting on well.
Of course, sometimes you gotta wear some if you are to succeed.
But what they did, they would have put a deep backward square into play. So let's see what might happen again.
Oh, lovely. Just getting on top of it and punching it behind square on the offside. You feel that backward point had to run away. Just about 3/4 away to the boundary. And another easy single. So he's looked good. Timing the ball pretty well. Getting into good positions.
What I can say,
15 for 2.
most of the young guys, especially at that level, work very well with Mr. Ray. So Mr. Ray would have drilled them properly in regards to the fundamentals of the game. So you'll really love to see that most of the fundamentals that they would have learned very early would have come into play here today.
That's what.
So Saint-Hilaire, I don't think Saint-Hilaire John would have ever bowled to Saint-Hilaire. So let's see how he bowls to Saint-Hilaire.
Yes, well, when they did play in game 1, I think he would have batted against John. Lovely. Just opening the face of the bat and running it down towards third man. Has it gone? Yes, I think it has gone over the boundary for 4. So making a hash of it down there on the boundary is a filler down on the boundary. So a little bit untidy there by the Dominicans, which is not something we've been able to see for too much during the course of the tournament. But of course, Saint-Hilaire will be happy. He's on 4. He's gotten off the mark. With a pretty decent shot though. It was well played, got right in behind it, right over it, and just opened the face of the bat. No risk involved. And that's what we were talking about just moments ago. It's been demonstrated there. So 19 for 2. And again.
Well played there by Saint-Hilaire. Gotten behind it, full face of the bat, and no bowler would like to see you rocking back and full face of the bat. But so far the Dominicans look poised. They look very well drilled. They seems to be they know what they're about, regardless to the the little mishap on the third man boundary. But John seems to look very depart, and he continues to run in and running hard.
Short and hooked away down towards almost beaten by the spin of the ball as it pitched down behind down on the long leg boundary. So not really getting hold of it as well as he wanted to, and probably it's a good thing he didn't, because there's a fielder posted down there. But he goes on by 1. It's good to see too that the batsmen are willing to take on even the shorter balls and be positive when the chances are there.
And that's good for that level of cricket. The fact that the young batsman can pick the short ball up early and put themselves in position to hit the ball either behind square, in front of square, for a boundary or for a single. That's great.
And again, massively in defense, head right over it and just pushing it out on the offside. to bring the end of another over by John. Reasonably good, but again, the batters did look quite assured during this over. So
another over comes to an end. We're here at the Windwards U playing field. Grenada versus Dominica. Grenada 20 for 2. Dominica would have been in such a better position, but Grenada is fighting back and fighting back well.
Of course, while it's a very hot day, one can see that there's a little bit of breeze out there. One can see the advertising flags just fluttering a bit towards the western side. It's still a bit limp though towards the eastern side. So probably with the trees and so in the background, on this side of the field, the breeze isn't as allowed to go through as freely as it is on the western side, which is a lot more open. But whatever breeze there is at the ground level, I think it will be very welcome by the players.
Yeah, most definitely. It's hot out there. They would have just had a little bit of drinks, and you will see how passionate they were about the water. What I can tell you was, playing U15 cricket, at that age, I mean, sometimes you have so much energy, you can go for days without, probably taking water. But the fact that they would have had some water would have tell you how hot outside there can be and could be. So we have a new bowler in.
Looking to cut, maybe delivery just a little too full and too close to him to affect the shot. So Darrow, Vince Darrow. So it's 20 for 2. Niles is on 7. Sentile, who is catching up, is on 5. 20 for 2.
We have a new bowler, Vince Darrow.
Yes, from the southern end, delivery outside the off stump, pushing it across the right hander. And Sentile just following it, like looking at it like an eagle, and allowing it to go through to be taken by the wicketkeeper.
That's one of the things about Sentile. He plays the ball very, very late. He watch it right onto the bat.
And again, looking to cut probably too wide and not making contact. It goes through to be taken by the wicketkeeper. And as he was saying earlier, wicketkeeper who looks so easy on the eyes, and that's what you want to see. You barely see the movement so smooth, but he's always in position. This time a lot fuller, and probably, if anything, maybe the ball may just come back into the left-hander a bit, and probably beating him just on the outside edge. There is 0. Again, outside the off stump, and no ball. Well, as the first for the morning, of course, Dominica has transgressed on a few occasions with no balls. Yesterday they did bowl a few up at last suggest. So it will be a free hit, so let's see if whether Sentile can capitalize. Grenada haven't capitalized so far as the free hits were concerned. They've been gifted a number of them. This time, yes, that will go pretty close to the boundary. It goes, but it plugs and stops, of course. Yes, but good running though. Yeah, we're gone for 2.
What Sentile did there was a short ball in the wicket. He rocked back, waited on it, and hit it over mid-on. Unfortunately, due to the conditions, the ball was unable to head to the boundary, but excellent shot nevertheless.
Yes, indeed. That's what you want to see. He waits again, and this time just comes across and allow it to go through to be taken by the keeper. Another wide, and so,
What I must say, looking at this game here today, the wicketkeeper for Dominica, he would have must been doing a level of work and a level of training to be such efficient in that role. So far, he's been gloving everything, whether it's wide, whether it's down the leg side, but he's been very, very efficient, and that's great to see at that age.
Yes, and the ease at which he does it is something to. Yes. So in terms of the ground dimensions. If you are going to be hitting the airborne shots, it's best to get the wind will, but normally we'll hit him with the wind towards the western side. Wind coming from the east
to the west.
To the west. So, yes. I just played in Happy Hill here. You always talk about, when you want to hit, you hit out towards the western side.
So after the end of the over, Grenada 24 for 2. So far they're recovering nicely. We have Niles on 7 of 13 deliveries, and you have Saint-Hilaire on 7 of 18 deliveries. Both batsmen hitting one boundary. And so far Grenada is recovering nicely.
Yes. So there's another change in the bowling for Dominica. Is that August? Number 25. Yeah. So it's
August.
It's Gente August. Yeah. So he's picked up from where John has left off. So right arm over the wicket. And a delivery. Delivery it was just because Niles on the back foot and just opened the face of the bat and steered it out towards point. Near mix up there as Saint-Hilaire was hustling down the wicket for a single. I don't think at this point there is any real need for that.
So far, it seems to be very much intact. A dead ball signal there by the umpire.
Of course, it must be just a little bit disheartening, when you're coming, just complaining a bit about this, the sponginess of the sand. Of course, it will be very spongy on the feet. There's no real grip for you there, so you have to get accustomed to that. Pressing the gap this time down behind point, between point, towards backward point. The fielders from third man and backward point converge and picking up the ball just inside the boundaries. Of course, based on the conditions, because the outfield is so slow, you'll have to put the total into perspective at 25 for 2. Probably based on some of the shots we've seen, it probably could have been closer to 30.
Yeah, definitely, probably around 35, but that's one of the things you have to take into consideration as young cricketers. Different conditions.
Yes.
That will happen wherever you go in the world. If you want to, transit from, to professional cricket, everywhere you go, conditions will be different. So that's some of the mental aspects you'll have to, adapt, as players, being able to, force in different conditions. So far.
And August just having a little problem there with the footing. I'm not happy at all. One can see him really shortening the strides, not trusting the footing, and just affecting his rhythm. His change from over to around the wicket.
What will need to happen? I think the ground staff will have to go in and probably do some groundwork in terms of the sand, because it's very difficult for him. Yeah. You can see he's much heavier than John as well.
That's right.
I think that's one of the factors I have to take into consideration. He's a more bigger, more muscular guy than John. But let's see if he can, fight this battle, able to come out on top.
What he said do is just be as smooth as he can. One can see him getting the steps getting shorter and shorter as he goes. But again, one of the things I was saying is that you have to adapt. You may go to other countries, you may go to, and then the conditions may be such that you have to adapt. Not what you are accustomed with every day, every single day. Because you know what it is. Yeah, it's sandy, So and another thing again, you wonder how much work growing up, you would have done a lot of work on the beaches, bowling on the beach and the sand, and it certainly would have been, one of the main method of training for a lot of us who play cricket, bowlers and stuff and so on.
What I can say, factor will change in terms of preparation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Smashed.
the excellent shot there by Timothy would have rocked back. He hit it straight to the field, that shot extra cover for no run. But as I mentioned before, before you would have prepared differently to how the kids would have been preparing now. As a youngster growing up, you probably would have had to go to the beach before, get some strength and conditioning training. But times will change, and most of the young guys now have things like the gym and so on where they can.
So lovely shot again down behind point, showing his strength in that area. Anything shot, and going for a second, and it gets quite easily. So good positive running in the end, and was 2 more runs to Grenada, 27 for 2. So one really hope we'll see the best of Niles today. He's a very talented and attractive batsman. Like to
So
see
far, Niles, he's been looking good square of the wicket. Anything short outside of stump, he has been able to get some runs. Anything short on the leg stump as well, you were able to pull it for another boundary. But what I can say, anything within his arc, he's very correct, but he's not able to generate runs. So that's one of the things probably Dominicans will be looking at in terms of the coaching and so on, in regards to stopping them from scoring. Probably trying to be as straight as possible.
And again, it's really about playing to his strengths. If that is his strength, all he does, and sometimes you don't want to lose your wicket trying to be too enterprising when ball pitches in areas where you're not very efficient. So you want to wait till you get them in the areas that you like, that you're more efficient, and score there. It calls for patience and everything else, So another change in bowling. That's that's Darroch that is continuing. Vince Darroch. So he's continuing from the southern end. So Centilla on strike. He's on 7.
So we have a deep fine leg, a deep third man, a backward point, deep extra cover, short cover, mid on, mid off, a mid wicket.
Full toss outside the off stump. One of the things the observation I've made, in fact yesterday speaking to his dad, I did suggest to him that he has to assist him a bit in strengthening. So I'm doing some work to strengthen his, get stronger. Delivery coming off the top edge, looking to slash it behind point on the offside, and going down towards third man, and he picks up a single. He goes to 8. Yeah, because he plays some beautiful shots within the 30-yard circle, but not the power sometimes to pierce the field and so on and so forth. So he'll have to do some strengthening to be able to become a lot stronger.
Most definitely, but I think with cricket, over the years, batsmen will grow into their strength.
Yeah, well, yes, of course they do. Ooh.
Excellent delivery here by the Rocks.
Yeah.
Beaten for pace.
Yeah.
Beaten for pace. He runs in, and he seems to be a needy little bowler, but what he can do, he can generate something off the wicket.
Yes. Centilla there seemed to have got quite mugged up too in his footwork. And in the end, this one is wide outside the off stump.
So an excellent day here for cricket at the Bushes U playing field. We're here with Grenada versus Dominica. Grenada is 28 for 2. We have Centilla on 8, and we have Christian Niles on 10.
Niles on strike and punches that through the offside towards the extra cover region, and a good bit of fielding out there by the Dominican. It's probably one of the big up men on the field. On the field.
Excellent stop there by the youngster. Gotten across, got down, stopped it, and saved his team a run.
Oh yes, a run or two. So that's the type of thing we want to see from these youngsters, these efforts, this commitment in the field and everything else. And of course, it's a good fielding. So Niles remains on 10. And Grenada, they're 28 for 2.
And so far they have been progressing nicely. The Grenadian batsmen looking positive. Also, they've been, looking the part. They're looking like they want to apply themselves. They want to, get a run today. And the Dominican also been applying some pressure. The bowlers, not too much extras. The bowlers are trying to hit that line, that length, and be consistent here.
Well, just as expected, there's a change of bowling here at the pavilion end, because remember there was a lot of problems there for August, and probably they will use the spinners mainly from this end, because it doesn't require too much of a run.
I definitely think that's good captaincy as well.
Yes.
Assessing conditions as a captain and realizing that conditions doesn't
so Darren Ellick is coming. Yes.
Doesn't work well with the space bowling. So getting a spinner in, that will work well for his team. But he have a very unorthodox feel as well.
Yes. Yes. Of course, the voice of former Winlott Island player Thomas Kentish. Yes.
So they have a short mid-wicket, extra short mid-wicket, a short square leg, and a man deep backward square.
Beat everybody. It was a slow sort of looping sort of off spinner. Niles came across and just allowed it to go, and the keeper was beaten by 2, so a bye, another extra for Grenada. Of course, generous flight, but one can see almost the batter just having to search for it to a bit, because probably with the breeze coming across, there would have been some drift. Yeah, so it has to be on the lookout for that. This time on the pad and just turned away on the onside. No runs.
One thing I'm impressed with as well, the amount of loop the spinner is able to get, and purchase is able to get. He's not afraid to fly the ball. He said, if you want to hit me, go ahead, hit me.
Again, this time just a full toss, not getting it on the full. And again, good work, and there is some hesitation, there's problems, and he's gone. Well, quite unfortunate. That good fielding out in the mid-wicket area, and it's sad to see Centile had to go that way. There was some hesitation, and sadly he had to go. But again, the Dominicans are very good in the field.
Yeah, definitely. You must commend the Dominican fielder. They would have created the pressure on the batsmen. And I think looking at this game here, that's about the 4th time they could have gotten run out if they were, Dominicans was really. But this time they would have been running out of luck. I think poor communication by the batsmen. One would have, called, and the other batsman didn't answer the call. But it's cricket at the end of the day, and I think he's disappointed. But sometimes you have to, feel the bearing of those sort of decisions. I mean, Grenada would have suffered another loss in terms of wicket, and I think that would have been a disappointing aspect. But we're here once again at the Windwards U15 playing field. The score is 29 for 3. Young Centile would have been run out here. Excellent feeling by the Dominicans. And
so just a bit of indecision, and had they probably gone from the start, would have gotten there. Yeah. So they have lost their third, 29 for 3. So you have to start the partnership all over. Delivery outside the off stump and cut down towards third man. Will run pretty close to the boundary, but again that area down there which is very, very heavy in terms of the grass and of course the wetness. So he's gotten 2 and 1 shot signaled by the umpire.
And Niles really need to have a look at that. That's his second one where he's not grounding properly.
Yes.
So I think you have to look at that coaching. The coaching staff of the Grenada team have to really inquire about this. Because that's 2 runs that would have been shot, through the game, and you know how runs could cost you in cricket.
Indeed.
1 run, you can lose a game by 1 run.
Yes.
And that's one of the things Grenada and coaching staff will probably have to have a word with, making sure that it's bad. That's one of the fundamental aspects of the game as well.
Yes.
Doing the basics right.
And that comes to with the overall running between the wicket. Yeah. How quickly you run that first run, how you touch down, how you turn. Yeah. So 29 for 3. Niles is on 10. Stuart has come in. And again, that loop by the spinner. Just asking the batters to.
That's what you want to see at that age, that flight. So we have new bowler Davis.
So Knights comes forward and can rather secure though as he plays it out into the offside.
What is nice to see is that the batsmen are tempted to go over the top. They're holding that composure, holding that tightness, and looking to defend the wicket and play as correct as possible. That is really nice to see at that age, at that level. And also the bowlers are not afraid to put it in the air, loop it, and hope to get a wicket.
Delivery again, probably just coming forward and almost pushes it back up the wicket on the onside. So a good battle ensuing. This time down the leg side, and that will be signal wide. So another extra. Niles on 10 and an opportunity to get a score, get a reasonable score here.
What I can say is he started, he's seen the conditions, he's know what the condition is like. So with him applying himself and batting 1 ball at a time, he probably could go on to get a big score here today. Excellent delivery there.
Gain that flight and a bit of bounce and turn outside the off, some fit in the outside edge.
But the take for me was the highlight in that delivery. How the wicketkeeper would have carry and came up with the bounce and still whip a bail off without even anyone noticing. Yes. That neat glove work. And as a wicketkeeper myself, when you see that level of potential and that level of ability, you want to hope for the best for him and hope he can go on. And I must commend Gian as well. Gian probably would have been doing a lot of work with him. Yes. The fact that he can able to execute such wonderful skill work.
Yes. So it's another time for rebuilding for Grenada. And delivery wide outside the off stump and just teared down towards backward point by Stuart. Stuart, of course, the cousin, I think, of Emmanuel Stuart.
And what I can say is, looking at the tournament, everyone that is playing in the tournament is related to some form of cricket or whatsoever. Yeah. I think Theophile have a son that is playing here as well.
Yes.
You have Sentile, father is a cricketer. Then you have a lot of young Grenadians as well. Parents would have probably represent Grenada, all the Windwards Islands, and I can guarantee the Dominicans as well.
Yes, and Craig Emmanuel, of course, those from St. Vincent. The Emmanuels, they're all related.
Okay.
And all of that, so yeah. So relatively quiet period as a spinner. This time a delivery just in line with the off stump and played up on the offside. 31 for 3. Stuart plays it out square with the wicket on the offside, and there is no run.
And it's nice to see most of the batsmen are able to play square of the wicket. It's really that's one of the harder shots to play. Trying to be able to cut the ball, and most of the Grenadian players are able to cut the ball nicely. And so far, everyone seems to be intact. Everyone seems to be, tight when you compare to cricket terms.
One of the hardest way, of course. You know that one of the hardest way to go in is by the run-out route in cricket. St. Hilaire must be aggrieved at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the party looked set, and he looked like he was in for a big score today. But we do have the water break here taken. Grenada 31 for 3. After the first water break here today, we have Niles, Christian Niles on 10, and we also have Aaron Stewart on 1.
So a well-deserved drink break for the players. It's been pretty hot out here today, and they're all going towards the western side. So far this morning, we've seen Junior Macmillan. He was bowled by John for 5. He faced 13 balls, 10 minutes. No fours involved. Giovanni Francis was caught by Benjamin, bowled by Joseph for no score. Christian Niles is not out on 10. And Aaron Centilla was run out for 8. Grenada 31 for 3. Extras 7. And so far, as far as the bowling is concerned, very good figures. Josh and Joseph, he bowled 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs, 1 wicket. Dylan John, 4 overs, 2 maidens, 14 runs, 1 wicket. And Duro, 2 overs for 5 runs. And Auguste, who had 1 over and really struggled from the northern end. From the pavilion end, he had 1 over for 3 runs, no wicket. So a decrease at the moment is Christian Niles and Stewart. So they are trying to rebuild for Grenada. So welcome back to Boseju as the players have been refreshed and first delivery after the break, our delivery pitched up, and so Niles trying to hike it out into the onside, not making contact, and just a gentle appeal by the players, not out says the umpire. So it's 31 for 3. Niles is on 10. As a delivery which is played out into the offside, and there is no run, picked up by the fielder coming in from the cover region, and there is no run. So Davis is continuing from the southern end. He comes in and bowls to Niles. Niles gets a delivery. It bounces a bit on him and just opens the face of the bat and steers it down towards third man, and single taken to take him on to 11 and to take the score on to 32 for 3. And Grenada in need of some sort of consolidation. They have to send the Dominicans a total that they can really contest. So Davis, right off spin, bowls to this time to delivery, pulled down towards the deep mid wicket. The fielder on the deep mid wicket boundary fields and throws it back in. So Stewart, they're getting into the act, and it's 1 to Stewart. So Stewart goes to 2. 11 in Niles, 33 for 3. As Davis will continue from the southern end. Here at the Boseju playing field. Lovely cricket, lovely conditions now for cricket. A delivery again, making a bit of height, and this time Niles is back and across and just drops it in front of him, picked up by the wicketkeeper. 33 for 3. Here is Davis again, and Niles this time is hustled a bit outside the off stump, just coming down quickly on it and opening the face of the bat and guiding it out towards cover, towards point, and filled it out there. And there's no run, so that brings up the end of another over. At the end of it, Niles remain on 11. Stewart is on 2. 33 for 3, the latest score here. So again, it's time for Elik from the pavilion end. Elik has bowled 2 overs so far. He's in his third, comes up now and bowls to Stewart. Stewart comfortably onto the back foot and plays it up towards mid-on. You feel that shortish, straightish mid-wicket comes in to do the fielding, and there is no run. As Elik again this time attempted quicker ball and just flicked away on the offside, and they can't score. Although there was a fumble down at backward point. And Stewart remains on 2. 11 to Niles. Here is again, and this time pulled away into the onside by Stewart. The fielder comes off the deep mid wicket boundary and does the fielding and just tosses it back up towards the bowler. And 1 run can be had. So here on Stewart goes on to 3. 34 for 3. Grenada. Second time meeting Dominica in the tournament. And a delivery which is right back almost. Giving some flight and a little bounce. And the batsman Niles just goes right onto the back foot and looks at it right underneath the eyes and drops it down in front of him. So here is another delivery which is tossed up just around the off stump and comes forward and pushes it up on the offside of the wicket. Fielded comfortably by the bowler. And he goes back. As Elik bowls again, this time short outside the off stump and not giving Niles the room to free his arms on this occasion. He just goes onto the back foot and plays it up again on the offside to end the over. At the end of it, Grenada 34 for 3. quite a bit of chatter out there by the Dominicans. As Davis holds a full toss and is pulled into the onside, but not very handsome, and a little bit of misfielding there in the short wide mid-wicket area, and the batsman crossed for a single. So it takes Stewart onto 4, and Niles, who is on 11, comes back into strike to Davis. Delivery again thrown up, tossed up, and just beating the forward defensive bat of Niles. Of course, giving generous flight, because the wind will be blowing from his right to left, so there must be some form of drift. Again, tossed up and almost yocking himself there, Niles, as he just plods it out on the offside. And bowler trots forward to do the fielding. Just tosses the ball from hand to hand and just comes in. Rather smooth, easy, relaxed approach, and a delivery outside the off stump again. Bongs there. Niles just having some issues with the deliveries which are tossed up to him. And quite a lot of bongs, but efficiently taken by the keeper, who has shown, the wicket keeper, who has shown to be very efficient in his work so far this morning. Delivery on the pad and going through him. There will be some buys, probably, or leg buys. They go on for one, they'll be back for the second. And yes, they come back. What would it be? It's buys, said the umpire. So 2 by way of extras. And it takes the total on to 36. Extras moves on to 7. And Niles remain on 11. 4 to Stewart. As Davis moves in again to bowl to Niles, and Niles this time again just jumps into defense on the back foot, almost standing straight up and steering it out towards the offside, and there is no run. So this brings the end of another over. That's the end of another over. So at the end of it, 37 for 3. Darren Ellick is in his 4th over, 3.1 overs bowled, and delivery outside the off stump and just steered into the offside. The field that cover has to move to his right to do the fielding, and there is no run. So Stewart, the batsman on strike, throws it up and Stewart turns it around towards backward square. Again, a tumbling save down behind square, just behind, just in the back, shot backward of square area. And can be no runs. So the Dominicans have certainly showed commitment in the field so far. The delivery short and not really turning this time, just going straight on with the arm. And Stewart is on the back foot and plays it up towards mid-on. And there is no runs. There is Ellick again, short outside the off stump, and is looking to steer it out down towards Sudden Man, a backward point, not making contact. Because probably, if anything, just beaten by the bongs there, which has been quite evident so throughout the morning. The delivery again outside the off stump and dangerously close to the bat, just looking to steer it away from the gloves of the wicketkeeper. Can't do so, but quickly, the end of another over. So at the end of it, 37 for 3. So they're going to just talk a bit and really push the scoring on at the moment. Good work by the Dominicans. They've done some pretty good work in the field. So make it up about delivery again down the leg side. There would be some bites or wide that will cross the rope. It does. So that's 4 wide. So that will be 5 runs extras to the Grenadian. So they would welcome that. So they take the score on to 42. 42 for 3. Niles remains on 11. Looking to sweep, not making contact. The ball down the leg side and not being taken by the wicketkeeper. So 42 for 3. As Davis again had to stop and go back to his mark. So just a small partnership in the making at the moment. Again down the leg side and he's out. Whoa, that's so unfortunate. Looking to sweep and just as he was completing the shot, the ball ricocheting back onto the stumps and Niles have to go, and that's an important blow struck there by Dominica. And the loss of Niles, who were batting pretty well, but this time just beaten on this occasion. And the spin, of course, causing lots of problems to the Grenadians. So Niles go for 11, 42 for 4. And the Dominicans will play cock a hoop. So Captain Abraham will replace Niles, who was so unfortunate. It's quite an unfortunate way to go for Niles. The ball coming off the what looked like the arm and dropping back onto the stumps. But so some of the things. So it will be the turn of Abraham. Ethan Abraham, Captain Abraham. Series Alex is on his way to Abraham. Abraham pulling well down towards mid-wicket and away to the boundary for 4. A powerful shot to begin with. A delivery full on and he's down on one knee and really smashed it through the onside, and it went very quickly away to the boundary. In fact, there was a fielder just about 5 meters away and he couldn't get around to field that. So well it has been struck. So Grenada moves on to 46 for 4. Abraham is on 4 to Stewart. As here again is a delivery and coming forward and beaten a bit there by lots of bunks, lots of turn. So Davis on his way to Abraham. Abraham looking to sweep a loud appeal and not making contact. So he has to be very careful. And let's go 46 for 4. Abraham just being reminded that he already struck a 4. He doesn't have to go leather hunting anymore. And again, a delivery thrown right up, asking the batsman to go searching for the ball, look up to the deliveries, which is always a good ploy. Abraham, another left-hand batsman. As a delivery again, sweeping, looking to sweep. Really love that shot. There's a loud appeal again, but you get the feeling that this one was just slanting down the leg side. As he attempt to sweep, seem like he almost with shot he has played so far, probably except one has been attempted sweep. So but brings up the end of the over, the end of it. 46 for 4. So Alec again and delivery. Played up into the offside by Stewart. And there is no run. So Stewart is there, he's on 4. Benjamin is on 4. A delivery is driven into the offside and a misfield there, and they went through for a very quick single. So good running, good be alertness by the batsmen. Everyone would be very important. So this brings Abraham on strike. He's on 4. 5 to Stewart. Extras is 14, 47 for 4. So Elick, who has bowled 4.2 overs so far, he hasn't picked up a wicket. One for only 3 runs. As Elick bowling from the pavilion end. As he comes in and he bowls a delivery short and tucked up on the onside. The bowler just skips across to his right to do the fielding. And there is no runs. The score remains on 47. The delivery again tossed up, giving himself room and looking to cut the ball, probably just coming off the inner portion of the bat and running down towards Tottenham. They're coming back for the second and not a very good throw. Probably gave them the opportunity to have the second quite easily. But some urgency being shown there by the Grenadian batsman. Takes the score on to 49. And it will be a bit of a relief to see the 50 come up. As the delivery again tossed up on Abraham on the back foot and just blocks it up on the offside, and again the bowler just comes across to his right to do the fielding. Leko, any number 27 shot on his back, comes up now and bowls to Abraham. Abraham one hand off the bat and pushes it up on the onside. And there is no run. That brings up again the end of another over. So Dominica, we're playing through the overs rather quickly. And at the end of it, 49 for 4. Abraham is on 6, Stewart is on 5. And Grenada badly in need of a decent partnership. So remember, it's a 38 over game delayed because of the conditions. Of course, the area have experienced lots of rain during the last week or so. And the fact that we can have some play today is testimony to the fact that the ground staff has really put in some tremendous work in ensuring that the facility is ready for today. But here Davis again tossed up and going for looking to pull it away down towards backward square and not making contact. That's Stewart, and it's no run. So Stewart is on 5, 49 for 4. Probably would be advised to play the ball a lot straighter. As a delivery again, ball tossed up and this time coming forward, and good work again by the keeper. Was showed very good glove work. Very efficient indeed. Great, quick to whip the bail off, but Stuart was grounded. And there is no run. 49 for 4. So just a single to give Grenada the 50. As a delivery again, tossed up again, and Stuart comes forward and looking to just open the face of the bat, and all he could do is get it down towards short third man, backward point area. And there is no runs. He taps away again as Harry Davis, delivery which is on the stump, and Stewart this time is just coming forward and play it out on the offside. The fielder at a short cover comes in to take a short extra cover, comes in to do the fielding, and there is no run. This time just advancing down the chalk and pushes it back past the bowler. The bowler fumbles a bit, but couldn't have chance of a single. Just a little shimmy down the wicket by Stewart. 49 for 4. And here he is coming forward and beating outside the off stump. And no runs in the over, another beaten. So at the end of it, 49 for 4. 6 it is to Abraham, 5 to Stewart. And Dominica must feel that they're well in control here. So Armstrong will take it up from the pavilion end. And he will bowl into Abraham. 49 for 4. And Strong wearing the number 13 on his back. Bowling to the left-handed Abraham. Seems to be bowling a leg break bowler from the northern end. Good force delivery. Full just on our side, the off stump. And Abraham just steered it into the backward point area. And there's no run. So Abraham just tapping away at the crease width for Armstrong. Delivery which is short and can't quite free the arms to pull. And again a little mix-up, some mix-up in the running. But it has to be careful as Armstrong diving across. But we're just getting in some kind of tangle with the batsman. We're doing a bit of damage. Sustaining a blow to the face. But he twirls the balls from hand to hand. And we're moving again to bowl to Abraham, who gets a full toss and doesn't do much with it. Probably missing it outside the off stump. And will result in what the umpire may signal as a bye. So another extra. So extra goes on to 14. Extra is contributing quite well to the Grenadian cause. And umpire Jack. Or in fact, Abraham may have gotten a slight edge to it, and in fact he's gone to 7. And Stewart is on 5. 50 comes up for Grenada. As the delivery was again just short of a length on the body and pushes it up on the onside. There is no run. So the 50 will comes up for the Grenadians. 50 for 4. Took the better part of 21.3 deliveries. 21.3 deliveries. As a delivery which is pulled out towards mid-wicket. And once again, the Dominican have shown that they are very adept at fielding. So there is no runs. So now the applause for the 50. Grenada will want a lot more delivery. Pulled down towards mid-wicket for a single. And they move on now to 51. So Abraham is on 6. 6 it is to Stewart as they come to the end of another over. This time from Armstrong. He has completed his first. Reminding you that it has been a game which was converted to 38 overs due to remedial work that has to be done on the outfield this morning. And looking at the field, one can still see quite a bit of patchy areas after the rains of the recent days. Stewart waits for Davis and gets a delivery which he flicks down towards third man and just tittling it down towards the third man area. The fielder having to run away from a shortish third man backward point area to do the fielding. And this takes Stewart to no, and again trying to run it down towards third man is Stewart. Can't score. 51 for 4. Davis to Stewart again, and this time almost a full delivery and appeal, and just no real conviction in the appeal as the ball probably just striking Stewart on the pad as it went down the leg side. again. This time probably just getting the back of the bat. The ball just hitting the back of the bat and lobbing over the fielder behind square at sleep. And no runs. Just been called down by the captain. Saying to him, you need to play a lot straighter. And Grenada is not in the most solid of positions. 51 for 4. Again, a ball given more than generous flight. Tossed high into the sky. And there is no run. There is Davis again. Ball to short gets one again, which he just stays away into the offside. And there is no run. 51 for 4, the score remains. Stewart is on 6. 6 it is to Abraham. At the end of another over, the end of 23. So after 23 overs, Grenada is 51 for 4. Over the next 15 overs, they will have to get a move on. They'll have to see how much more they can post for the Dominicans. A game which was reduced to 38 overs. Here is Armstrong now. Balls and delivery, which is looking to cut it through the offside. Can't get it past the man at extra cover. And there is no run. 51 for 4. Delivery which is almost pitched. This time a ball pushed in front of point. The fielder coming in from point into a squarish cover position to do the fielding, and there is no run. So these two just trying to consolidate for the Grenadians. As they try to consolidate after the loss of probably two very unfortunate wickets that they have gone. One losing Saint-Hilaire by the run-out route, and losing Niles, trying to pull one which came off the arm and drop onto the stump. There is a full toss hit in the air and he's out. Well. So he's out still. The captain Benjamin, it was a full toss. He could have hit it anyway. Instead, the ball may have just hit the bottom of the bat and went in the air towards Madoff. And the fielder at Madoff took an easy catch. So Grenada in further trouble. They are 51 for 4. So Grenada have just lost their 5th wicket, 51 for 5. And it brings Raheem Hall to the crease. 51 for 5. as Armstrong bowls to Hall. This delivery gets a full toss, a slow looping full toss outside the off stump and just pushes it into the offside. And there is no runs. So the Dominicans have just been toying with the Grenadian batsmen, just lobbing, throwing the ball up, asking them to make errors. There are a few errors on their part. As again, delivery just turning into the left-hander from Armstrong, bowling his little leg breaks from the pavilion end. So this is the completion of the 24th over, at which Grenada is 51 for 5. So there will be 14 overs after this. Still a lot of overs to bat. And Grenada probably will still be hoping that they can get up to somewhere around about 100, 120. And Davis, yes, Davis will be coming in. So Davis will be bowling to Stewart. Stewart been there for a while, and a delivery is steered into the offside and straight to the man at a squarish cover, and there is no runs. So lovely sunshine out there. Yeah. So see, although it's not very breezy, but really good conditions as Stewart pushes it up on the offside again, and there's no runs. Davis having a rather good spell here. Throws it up again, and Stewart comes carefully forward and steers it into the offside. Not anything by way of aggression from the Grenadian batsmen at this stage. Them again just allowing a ball of foolish length. He just stand up straight and pushes it up again in front of him on the offside. And there was no run. Very short this time and looking to pull down the leg side. Can't do so. The ball going through and being signaled wide by the umpire. So just losing some control. Trying to bowl probably a quicker delivery. And losing the grip on it, and it goes away for a wide. So Grenadian total moves on again down the leg side and again call wide. So 53 for 5. And all these runs will be very much welcome by Grenada. There is Nian Davis. Again throws this one up and Stewart turns it out into the offside runner. Uppishly for a moment. It goes out towards squarish cover. And there again can be no runs. Davis. Again a delivery. Foolish length, and Stewart is just almost blocking it in front of him. No, showing no aggressive intent whatsoever. At the end of another over, the end of over number 25 is 53 for 5. And Stewart is on 6. Hall has not yet scored. In fact, he's only scored faced one delivery. And he will be in strike for the when the next over starts. All waits for Armstrong. I deliver it again, tossed up and just simply pushed away in towards the cover area by Hall. As I say, no real attacking intent. Again, this time it bowled him, missing a simply straight delivery, just coming rather lazily forward and being bowled by Armstrong. So rather soft dismissals we've seen by some of the Grenadian batsmen, and Grenada once again suffer another loss, 53 for 6. Really almost falling in a heap. Wondering if they can make a total that can challenge the Dominicans in any way. They were beaten by Dominica earlier in the tournament. And Hall went out there and really haven't contributed at all towards the Grenadian score. As Bristol. So, two representatives from the sister Isle of Carriacou. Nice to see the players from Carriacou and Pitty being involved in the whole national setup. So, Bristol, one expects to see maybe doing quite a bit of bowling for Grenada when they took the turn to the crease. As he taps away and waits for Armstrong, and to this delivery is because coming across and allowing it to go through to be taken by the keeper. There is Armstrong again on his way to bowl, and Bristol comes across and allow it to bounce through to the wicketkeeper. Once again takes it well. Bristol is on not. Stewart is on 6. Oh, there's a loud appeal. Hands out, given out LBW. He really didn't know much about this one. A delivery tossed up again, and he was just coming across walking across his stump, struck in front, and he's out. So Grenada continues to slump. It's 53 for 7. Bristol goes for no score, and Stewart is on 6. And let's see. So Charles will make his way out. So Ron Charles has made his way out into the middle to replace Bristol, who went LBW to Armstrong. So Armstrong has picked up the last 3 wickets to fall. So in the midst of a very good spell. And just a little delay as Armstrong gets ready to bowl to Charles. That delivery which is tossed very, very high and pulled out into the outside, and a lot of badly misjudged there by the fielder down on the mid wicket boundary. And it's a no ball over the way, so he will have a free hit. Struck it, it's gone for 4 or 6, for 4, says the umpire. And a no ball, so a chance for a free hit. So 58 for 7, and there would be a free hit. Yeah, so useful runs, important runs being added there by Charles. So he taps away, and that would be a free hit. Let's see how we have, and that was down the leg side, and a little a mix up again, and the return coming probably on the wrong end, but he gets a single leg by, and not making maximum use of the free hit on this occasion. So 59 for 7. Grenada in, I was saying, not so much in danger. Probably will get past the 61 they made against Dominica in the first game. But one would think that this just wouldn't be a total that will challenge the Dominicans too much. So what is really, there's just a slight break in play one. We're not sure what is actually happening. And well, been spoken to by the umpire. He really isn't sure what is happening out there, but we'll be able to clear that very soon. So just some attention being given to, it seemed to be like Charles. One really didn't see anything untoward happening. So it seemed to have been struck on the hand. And of course we may see the magic spray being brought out. Indeed, we've just come to the end of over number 26 and about to begin over number 27. So whether the Grenadian can bat through to the 38 over is another story. So Joseph has bowled, Joshan Joseph has bowled 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs, 1 wicket. And Elon John so far, 4 overs, 2 maidens, 14 runs, 1 wicket. Vince Darrow, 2 overs, 5 runs. Drente Auguste, he has only bowled 1 over for 3 runs. Darren Elick has bowled all of 5 overs, 2 maidens, 5 runs, no wicket. And Leon Davis has bowled 7, 2 maidens, 15 runs, 1 wicket. The main wicket keeper so far has been Armstrong. So there's a change of bowling at the southern end for Dominica. Dylan Joseph will take up the attack from the southern end. So it's been quite a while since the fall of the last wicket. The very soon will continue. So here is the ball to Charles. Charles coming forward and stroking it up towards the extra cover and can't score. Charles seems to be a very aggressive batsman as he waits for Dylan Joseph. Bowling from the southern end comes in now to bowl to Charles, and Charles is looking to turn it away on the onside. Probably the ball just coming off the coming off the hip and picking up a leg by as Armstrong, who is very a heavy-setted man, had to chase after it, and they gave them enough time to cross for a single. One more by way of extra. Extra goes on to 20. Grenada 60 for 7. Here is Joseph again on his way to bowl to this time to Stewart. Stewart is reaching for it a bit. Delivery tossed up again outside the off stump, and the ball just rolling back up on the onside of the wicket, and there is no runs. So here is Joseph again to Stewart. Stewart hits it in the air and straight to the man at extra cover, and he's out. Well, rather soft, tame dismissal by Stewart. Just coming forward and just pushing it into the hands of the man at extra cover. So he goes for 6. Batted for quite a long time, and it's 60 for 8. And Grenada really in danger of probably not being able to post the type of total that they want. So he's gone, just blocking it out towards extra cover. And 60 for 8. So another wicket, in fact a first wicket for Joseph. That's in his first over. Picking up the wicket of Stewart. He comes back rather disconsolated. So Dominica will be very, very, very happy with what they have managed to achieve. Yeah. Will certainly restrict Grenada to something about just probably over 60 towards 70. And one would like to think that that type of total really wouldn't challenge their batting powers. So Camel Dick has made his way out, and he will be facing Joseph, who comes in on bowls to Dick, and Dick swings. He's gone high, he's gone back to the bowler, it's gone nowhere in fact. So going across it, and the ball hitting across the line, and the ball going high into the back towards the bowler, who just had to stand and accept a rather simple catch to see the 9th dismissal, the 9th wicket fall for Grenada, and really 60 for 9. So Grenada, remember, they would have scored 61 when they met Dominica on the first occasion. So one doesn't expect the score would go far beyond that. As Dick makes his way out, and this will bring Kivani Bartholomew to the crease. So Kivonte Bartholomew is out there. He will face Joseph, who have had 2 wickets in his first over. And Grenada 60 for 9. As Joseph comes in and bowls to Bartholomew, who is looking to pull that away on the onside and misses altogether. So the end of a successful over for Joseph. At the end of it, the Grenadian, they're 60 for 9. And really, Dominica would feel that they have this thing wrap up. Of course, they're very confident in their batting. And I think that they should go on to wrap this one up and continue to their unbeaten run in the tournament so far. And a big swing out again towards this time over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. So Charles have decided to really use the long handle. And for the second time, we've seen him gone towards that mid-wicket area. This time he's gone over the mid-wicket area and collected a 6. So the first maximum, the first 6 for the day. And a good hit by Charles takes him on to 10. Takes Grenada on to 66. So a few more of that Grenada will be hoping for from Charles. They have shown the inclination since he come on to go big. And again down the leg side and looking to swing it away on the onside. And just being struck on the pad and not out, says the umpire. As there was a slight inquiry as to whether that would have been LBW. Armstrong. Yeah, pushed another fielder down on the deep backward of square boundary and delivery now full right up to the batter. And Charles didn't deal with it as efficiently as he probably wanted. Ball coming off the very bottom of the bat and going behind square on the onside, and there was no run. So the battle continues between Armstrong and Charles. Serious Armstrong ball to Charles. Charles with his delivery is coming forward and shoulders lifting the bat high outside the off stump and allowing it to go through to be taken by the wicket keeper. So 66 for 9. Again tosses up and struck down towards cover. Extra cover in the way, and there is no run. But he has been very severe on the loose deliveries. Here is Armstrong ball. A delivery. He tries to defend and the ball spinning away outside the off stump. And there is no run. So at the end of the over, at the end of it, it's 66 for 9. Bartholomew is a not 10 to Charles. Joseph will continue. Picked up 2 wickets in his previous over. He's into his second. Comes in and ball to Bartholomew. Bartholomew is struck on the pad. Probably a little bit high. And there is no so Kivonte Bartholomew. Dylan Joseph. 1.1 over 1 maiden, 2 wickets as he comes in now to bowl to Devonte. Devonte trying to pull it away on the onside, but not in position to do so. And they can't make contact. So another dot ball. Grenada remains 66 for 9. So here is Joseph again. The reach is tossed up and couldn't quite handle that. It bounced quite appreciably. Goes down towards the boundary. They will come back for the second as Armstrong chases it and throws it back into the keeper. One can see a cloth of sand as the ball was thrown back to the keeper, reminding us that, of course, the conditions and lots of repair work had to be done to ensure that this game played today. But, is Joseph, who have not a run scored off him yet. Comes in and bowls, and this time he's hit down, and over the man at mid-off, and he goes to the boundary for 4. So, Kivonte Bartolomeo struck 1 for 4. And, yes, it has gone for 4. So, 4 to Bartolomeo, 72 for 9. So, useful runs at the back end by these two. Partnership so far of 12. Here he is again to bowl, and this time he's looking to swing it away on the onside. Ball coming off the pad and going down towards the fine leg area, and fielded by Armstrong. And no runs can be had. So Grenada will hope these two will continue to just add some more runs to the total. Here is Joseph, tall, slim, throws it up and look at the swing it away again on the onside and not making contact. And there is no run. So that brings the end of the over. And at the end of it, 72 for 9 here at the Bouchejo playing field. Remember, is Dominica versus Grenada. And Dominica, who has certainly been flawless in the tournament so far, as the players look to refresh themselves. So Grenada will continue to, we'll see how far they can push the total. There is still 10 overs remaining, or 9 overs remaining. And it will be outside the off stump as John has come back into the attack. And hold a short delivery outside the off stump. He will be bowling to Charles. Charles is on 10, 4-2 Bartholomew. Here is John on his way to bowl to Charles, and Charles goes across and just allow it to go through, to be taken by the wicket keeper. Reminding you is the Winlott Island under 15 competition. Charles smashed that, hit that out towards cover point, and there is no runs. So he'll certainly look to push it on. Charles, only 6 has been struck by him, 6 and a boundary so far in his knock. And looking to smash that off the back foot, not making contact. And the ball goes through to be taken by the wicketkeeper. Very efficient Dominican wicketkeeper. Not much have slipped the gloves, neither. Not much have gone past. And certainly it's shown that he has lightning speed with his hands. As John moves in again, right arm over to bowler delivery, which is driven up towards the offside, and they feel that squarish cover comes across to his right to do the fielding, and again there is no runs. John just making an adjustment to the field, pulling the man down from long leg to a more backward square leg, a lot squarer, because very close to the mid wicket. As Charles have shown the inclination to go down behind cow corner. But the occasion when he struck it very well. He waits for John. And short delivery and off the back foot again, and just pushes it up towards the cover area. And there is no run. So the score remains on 72. 72 for 9. Another over comes to an end. And at the end of it, 72 for 9. Charge remains on 10, 4 to Givante Bartholomew. So Bartholomew will take strike for the next over, as we just seen the end of over number 30. And once again, a little discussion by the umpires. Probably just there have been a bit of a delay, as Joseph will continue. We can't quite, we don't really know what the umpire is pointing something out, and it's been a while since the last ball were bowled, and not sure what it is, but something has just held up play for a while. Just confirming something with the scoreboard, which is out of our sight at the moment. Maybe just making sure that the overs are correct. Delivery which is wrapped on the pad. Delivery maybe just slanting down the leg side, as Bartholomew looked to swing it away on the onside. It's now run 72. 72 for 9. The highest total so far Grenada has, I think, has made in the tournament. As here is again, he comes in on balls and delivery reaches. Look at the pull it away on the onside, going onto the back foot. To a delivery reach probably could have come onto the front foot too. And once again, pretty good work by the keeper. Lightning speed taking off the bail, but he was well within the legal perimeters of the crease. Which is full and struck on the bowl him, in fact. Yes, missing this time now a very straight one, and had his furnitures disrupted. So he's gone for 4. Grenada is all out for 72. At the end of Dominica will have to make 73 to win, and one anticipates that it will be maybe a easy sailing for the Dominican, although anything is possible in cricket. So that's the end of the Grenadian inning. At the end of it, there's 72 all out. Of course, the top score of 11 by Niles and 10 from Charles Adeloy inning. Other than that, there has been minimal contribution by the Grenadian. Of course, Macmillan made 5. Francis bowled by Joseph for North. Niles bowled by Davis for 11. Aaron Saint-Hilaire was run out. Sadly run out for 8. Aaron Stewart caught Joseph J. Joseph bowled D. Joseph for 6. Ethan Abraham caught J. Joseph bowled Armstrong for 6. Raheem Hall was bowled Armstrong for North. Jaden Bristol LBW bowled Armstrong for North. Ron Charles was not out to 10, and Camel Dick caught and bowled Joseph for North. And Kivante Bartholomew, he too was bowled for 4. So that's the tail of the morning session, with Dominica wrapping up Grenada for 72. Of course, when we return, Dominica will go in pursuit of 73 to win, and of course we will be here to bring it to you when that time comes.
Go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide. All right. Watch me.
Good afternoon, wherever you are following us. We are back here at So good afternoon and welcome. We welcome you back here at the Bushes U playing field here in Grenada, as we witness the game between Grenada and Dominica in the Winlott Islands Under 15 tournament. And we greet you here again with really good news, bright sunshine, and despite all the rain we would have had the last few days, we are happy to see that we have tremendous condition, and the sort of condition I think that we all will relish as we resume play the second half of this game. As I welcome Justin Hector. Good afternoon. We just about to the resumption, first delivery being bowled. Dominica is required to get up to 73 for victory. At the moment, the bowling is from that western end. And the field, two slips, point, cover, mid-off on the offside. There's a long leg, mid-wicket, and a mid-on. Ball hit on the pad, he's out leg before, ball right up. And the left-handed, I think it's just to get the name right, looking Lewis, looking to stroke it somewhere through mid-on, missed. And umpire upholding that decision. Grenada struck very early, picking up the important wicket of Lewis, one player that has shown tremendous ability. Justin, who has played well yesterday, scored 29 not out.
Yes, it looked pretty adjacent. It was a good delivery by that was what, Bristol, it seemed. It was a very good delivery, and trapped him in front. Kind of delivery probably that if you get first up or second up and you clean it up, you shouldn't feel too badly about it. It was a good one, and there is some movement out there. There was some movement throughout the morning, as we have seen throughout all the games so far. All the grounds we've seen appreciable movements by the ball. So probably this one just probably start coming into him a bit and trapping him in front. So he has to go, but Grenada really needed to have an early breakthrough.
Yeah, and scoring just 72, they really would have needed to have early breakthrough and picking up a wicket in the first over, and the valuable wicket of that Dominican player who would have shown tremendous promise, batted well, hit the ball well. So that's a big blow struck there by Grenada, picking up the first wicket.
Yes, indeed.
So Davis, Neon Davis. That's a player that also showed some good promise in the game yesterday.
Yeah, bowled well today.
first delivery confidently played down to the mid-on area. Yeah, and does seem to be a player that has a lot of confidence. He didn't do too much in the game yesterday, so he would want to make sure that he battles as long as possible. Dominica can get up to 73.
Davis is a very good all-round player. He did have a very good bowl today. Picked up a couple of wickets. Yeah.
And that completes the first over. Dominica not yet off the mark, but losing the potent wicket. I think it's just to
Lewis.
The important wicket of Lewis. Grenada, is this sort of start Grenada want? A good start by Grenada.
Yes, indeed. They need to pick up wickets. And not only one, but maybe 2, 3 wickets rather quickly. Just put the Dominicans under some degree of pressure. You know. Yes.
So we're about to see the second over. Grenada picking up that really important wicket. The Dominica not yet off the mark. They have one. But just really, really pleasant to see that, the place is looking so beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Those difficult period we had of rain and so forth.
Yeah, though this morning when we got here, it was really looking like we wasn't going to be able to start even the time we started, but the ground staff had to work really hard. They had to do some patching up, as you see, on the field. It doesn't look so bad now, but I think all kudos to them. They were able to pull things off.
So Dick picked up the attack from then this one hit over mid-wicket. They're going to run very close to the boundary, and let's see, just about get to the boundary. And certainly it just need to be confirmed by the umpires, but he has no
one shot.
We see the square leg umpire just signaling one shot.
So that's good work down on the boundary there by the fielder. Chase the ball down.
So Armstrong looks a really good player. Hitting that short ball over mid-wicket. And just being shot maybe just about a few inches from the boundary.
It's almost centimeters.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I saw and really could have spoken about Justin is the way probably the first 5 batters that I saw from Dominica yesterday, they really look impressive.
Yes, indeed, they're an impressive team altogether, as a bowling unit also and as a batting unit.
So they will feel confident having to chase 72. They will feel that they should get over this hurdle.
And even if they lose a wicket or 2 or 3, it will just give the middle order some opportunities that they didn't have too much of.
And there could be trouble there. As
poor Cho.
So the appeal went up as as Davis looked to play somewhere through mid-wicket and came off of the pad, and they looking to scramble a leg by, which really was not there, but luckily they were able to get back to the creases. So the first extra Dominica off the mark. Not off the mark, but they are now 3 for 1. And one of the things that we expect to see in this tournament is a lot of wide spin ball.
Yes.
Hit down to long leg for a single.
Safe to say it was not very bad this morning. I thought they did pretty well as far as that was concerned. All overall, there were some leg buys and the extras were not probably as we saw in the first game and some of the earlier games.
But I do believe that things are going to get better and better as the tournament goes on with the players having to play more and more cricket. And that is what really going to help you in terms of the amount of wides, because more and more you play, you better be able to deal with giving away extras, being able to pick a line and being consistent in terms of what you do. So 4 for 1, Dominica. As we have seen 2 overs completed. Kamal Davis. And hit in the air, over cover. Probably going to come back for 2 runs there. Armstrong stroking this one well. Probably just hitting it, probably wanted to get it maybe in the gap. But sort of reaching for it and hitting it over the short cover. We pick up 2.
As the day has gone on, the outfield has quickened. Of course, it was a little bit damp this morning, quite a bit of moisture. But the ball, as you see, have travelled quite quickly over the outfield. So they would get value for shots. What we have seen though is when the ball was struck in the air or high in the air, it will just stick like a golf shot and just stick in the ground. But apart from that, above the surface, it's traveling pretty nicely. I think the batsmen will enjoy that.
Yeah,
and also the pitch, tremendous. The ball has been coming on, good bounce, good carry.
Yeah, I happened to have a look at the pitch a while ago, and it really looks well. Really looks well. Pitch really looks in really good condition. You would feel very confident playing on a wicket like that.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm not surprised that the wicket is playing as it is.
Happy Hill is have a history of having that type of wicket where batsmen do enjoy themselves. And this time is no different, really. Having been around Happy Hill cricket for a few years, I could tell you it's about one of the better wickets to bat on.
Yeah, I agree. Delivery hit down to wide mid-on, full toss, and Davis playing it firmly down to mid-on, pick up another single. It's 8 for 1. We're in over number 3. In bright sunshine here at the Bushes playing field. I do believe that the players would have been really happy to know they're able to play.
Yes.
Probably a longer version. Driven down to extra cover and goes down to the boundary for 4. Really played that shot really well, Armstrong, and it didn't look as if he was going to go to the boundary, but he came forward, he timed it well. And that ball went down to a wide mid-off position into the boundary for 4. Picked up the first boundary of the innings.
Yes, and this is what we're talking about, the rate at which the ball travels. It was barely a push down through the offside and it went all the way.
Yeah, again, and that ball played down to third man indicates how good the wicket is playing. As you reach forward and just open the face and steered it down to third man and pick up another single.
Yeah, so this short square of the wickets on both sides probably will see a bit more of as the batsmen realize the wickets. They can trust the bounce and the pace of the pitch.
Again, finally pushed back to the bowler by Davis. So that completes the third over. Dominica 13 for 1. And looking to get up to 73 for victory.
So one expects, based on what we've seen from the Dominicans so far in the tournament, they should make pretty light work of this chase, except something really untoward happened. Maybe one of the Grenada bowlers haven't had an exceptional spell, or one or two. It would probably take more than one of them. They all have probably to have to combine to really prevent Dominica from, sailing comfortably to making that score of 73.
Yeah, you're right. Based on what we would have seen already from the Dominica team, they do look, a powerful team that, particularly the batting, looks pretty impressive. But probably look the best in all the teams in the tournament so far. So you're right. We really had to take an exceptional performance by one of our bowlers. Confidently pushed down to mid-on. Alex Armstrong, he's on 7. Neen Davis on 4.
And we've seen that from Dick in previous matches where he would run back to his mark.
And clip, lovely shot. This left goes where? Goes down to the boundary and 6. What a really beautiful shot. Timing pitch around his leg. And he picked it up, clipped it over backwards square and just went over the rope for 6.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was saying earlier that the fact that the wicket is playing so well, we may see quite a few more attacking shots, quite a few more shots played square the wicket on both sides, and we've seen one of them. So that's an indication. So it's very easy pace, nice, good bongs, good carry you get. So they could afford to play the shots and play it with some degree of freedom.
20 for 1. Armstrong pushes the score up to 13. It's really hit 2 boundaries. And looking to pull a shortish delivery.
We beaten for lack of pace. The ball never really arrived. And he was almost turned around, almost through the shot before the ball arrived.
So the field for Kamal Dick in his second over. That's a mid-on, mid-wicket. Long leg feeler on the boundary. So there's 3 feelers on the leg side. So really pack, more pack offside field. $20 for 1. So we had 3 extra so far. The leg side field has been strengthened. Square leg has been now put in the position just to the right of the umpire. Another single as this ball is pushed to cover. With all the time in the world, all the ease in the world.
Yeah, they're not under pressure at all. They can just push it around as they well like.
It's 22. Dominica, who has played really undefeated in the tournament so far. Stroke back past the bowler. They're going to come back for two runs here. Yeah, it certainly indicates that the pitch is playing really well as he came forward and just pushed his ball back past the bowler.
Yeah.
Not much power, but just timing.
Yeah, pure timing.
Once again, looking to pull, making no contact.
So there's a real air of confidence in the way the Dominicans go about their business. I don't know how much they look so much far ahead of the other teams. I wonder if it comes down to preparation or just talent?
Well, I think there's talent. You could see there's talent, but a lot of preparation really have to go into it, because if you have talent and you're not prepared, you're not going to get the kind of result that you expect. So I think I think Dominica has a program for the young players. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe if we are able to talk to one of them, they probably will be able to tell us a little bit about the program. But they do have an ongoing program for young cricketers. So another extra. The score moves to 24. Another ball clipped down to backward square. This one, it goes just one bounce and it goes down to the boundary for 4.
Yes.
Again, ball sliding down the leg side, and once again Armstrong taking full advantage, lifting it over backward square, and almost picking up another 6.
Yes, delivery full and wide down the leg side almost. And it's surprised that he got so much bat on it. In fact, I thought he may have got it a little bit finer, but instead he got enough bat on it, get it just backward of square. And almost one bounce, pretty close to the boundary.
So pushes the score to 28. And confidently played on the
trouble.
Just on the onside there.
Well, that would have been very interesting.
It speaks to the positiveness in terms of both batsmen, just pushing and able to pick up one.
But it would have been very interesting had the fielder picked the ball up, but he fumbled it once, twice. And there was some hesitation. And probably had he picked it up and gotten it back to the keeper, they would have probably been, they had a chance.
So Davis, who's on 6, and again is stroking that ball through the covers. Going to pick up another single.
Good scrambling there in the mid-off area.
It really looked all so easy for Dominica. As the attacking Armstrong comes back into strike. Pushes back.
Of course, there's very clear difference in class between the two teams in terms of both in the field and there was a similar situation which resulted in a run out of St. Hilaire this morning. Very similar position, very similar place. The only difference is there was a clean bit of fielding out there, and at least this time the Grenadian fumbled.
So the players just having a quick drink, probably because of the heat, the sort of sun we are having. With only 5 overs have been bowled so far. So 29 for 1 Dominica, Armstrong on 19, and Davis on 7. Despite losing a wicket in the first over, quite a confident start by the Dominica team.
Indeed, and that is what is expected really from them. Yeah, that's what is really expected from them.
So we've seen so far the bowling of Bristol and Dick. Well, we are about to resume. Just looking at the field, while he's spread on the offside, this third man right back on the boundary. probably one would have thought that the fact that the field is not playing the field is not as fast as it normally is.
Yeah.
You probably would have wanted maybe have the third man up a bit, but he's right back. Again, push to cover for an easy single.
Yeah.
So playing it well is Dominica, 30 for 1. Dominica would have won 2 games previously played. Defeated St. Vincent by St. Lucia by 7 wickets. The previous game played yesterday at the Lassages playing field. But it's a team that seemed to be well drilled also.
Yeah, very well drilled.
You can see that
And
team
disciplined, very disciplined bunch.
This one is driven back past the bowler. They're going to pick up
Good work, very good work.
2. Before stop, just a few feet from the boundary.
It's a good work by Charles there.
And another 2 for Dominica. Good confident shot by Armstrong, who moves to 21, really striking the ball well. Once again, just past the mid-on fielder there, and this time just single. What we are seeing here from Armstrong, yesterday he would have been batting with Lewis, and despite the few deliveries that he would have faced, he didn't get out much, but he looked really good, technically correct. Whereas Lewis was really striking the ball, scoring quickly. He had lost his partner Lewis very early. And his full toss hit to mid-on. Davis probably would have been disappointed not to do much more with that full toss.
Yeah.
But it went straight to mid-on. Just seeing the fact that yesterday it was Lewis who really took charge and played some really good shots. This one is a straight back and it goes down to the boundary for 4. Good positive shot, ball pitched up and lifted it and went to the left of the mid-on, who had no chance, and pick up another important boundary. This is Davis, so he goes into double figures on 12. Dominica pushes on the 38 for 1.
Scoring not more than a run a ball.
Yeah, it speaks to the quality of the Dominica team. You see Andrew yesterday, Davis, Armstrong didn't do well. Lost Andrew very early, and here it is Davis is playing, not Davis, but Armstrong is playing a very good inning. Now the mid-on is pushed back to long on. And that ball outside the off. Some no shot offered. And that is the end of another over. Dominica 38 for 1.
Yes, and solid reply to what is a paltry 72. And never, as we kept saying from the beginning, a total that will never challenge them really to that extent. Put them under no big set of pressure. We expect them to cruise to that, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Wicket pitch playing really well. Bright sunshine. Scintilla. Ball again is stroked to cover. Really good timing. Comes out the bat of Armstrong bat. That's Bristol into his 4th over.
But you've seen all 3 venues so far, and probably is the best batting conditions that they have had in the 3 venues we've been at so far.
Yeah, you're right. This pitch is normally a good wicket for batting, and I can tell you most of the players. I can remember the under 19 Dominica team played here.
Yeah.
I think Lacot Sebastian was part of, and they spoke really highly of the quality of the pitch here at Boucherjou.
Yeah.
And really, very easily, it's the best batting wicket.
Yes, easily.
Ball push your point.
And another thing, Crony, is a really a nice scene ground. And that's what you want as a batsman,
Yeah, you're right. Where we sit here, it's a really good position to see all what is happening.
Yeah.
We have the advantage of looking at the monitor here to look at where deliveries, pitches at this one outside the off, so moving away, further away.
And
really, as you said, good scene ground.
Yeah, even as a batsman, your vision is not impaired by anything. It's really nice and a nice scene ground.
Score remains 38-1, being over number 7. Game goes down the leg side. Yet another extra.
Tiki.
Once again, push through. $39-1. Bristol in its just one delivery, complete his 4th over. Again hit to mid wicket. Let's see if this one will just hold up just before it get to the boundary, and they come back for 2. So that's 2 more to Armstrong. That pushes the score up to 24. And the score 4-1 for 1 at the end of the 7th over. Dominica confidently pleased with the reply.
Yeah, and it's a type of game that could really finish in a hurry. At the rate at which it's going. So the Grenadians can be too disappointed. They fought hard this morning. I thought just at the time they were probably finding their feet a bit with the batting. We lost Centillier, then we lost Niles, also in freaky circumstances, ball coming off the body onto the stumps, and then they run out, But these two look probably really good this morning.
Yeah, in conditions like this, you want to make sure you put a sort of score that would challenge the opposition. Ball hit down to mid-on, they complete easy single, Aaron Centillier, into his 2nd over, none for 10 so far. And I would want to think just in this could be probably the best condition we had so far for the tournament.
Yes, indeed. Started a little bit murky this morning, but it cleared up and really cleared up nicely. And as the afternoon came in, it was just continued to improve.
And Dominica continues to show the strength they have in the batting. The right-handed Armstrong comes back into strike. Again, push him to mid-off. It's 43-1. Again, hit down. Easy single. The mid-on fielder is being placed deep and be able to pick up a single. So again, sensible batting.
And it might be a miss of me to say that a medium pace side bowler and talk about nice use of the feet, but the way he got across and behind the ball and just pushed it down to mid-on. Really good, very good footwork, you know. And
yeah, you're seeing really some good technical skills being shown by both batters. He cover up and push that on the onside, and just his positioning, the sort of control. I think that's one of the things you see about those batters. I mean, when you're confident, when you have that confidence, you're able to play. It looks so easy.
Yes,
so easy.
Batting look very, very easy.
And at over mid wicket, and this goes down to the boundary for 4. Really, he has really been playing that shot really well. Ball just slanting down the leg side, and he clipped it down to backward square for 4. Really good shot.
Yes, well over the head of the man at backward square.
So Armstrong pushes on to 29, 48 for 1 as the over is completed. And Dominica making really light work of that score, making it very easily. So we are about to see going into the 8th over, 48 for 1. And certainly is a happy occasion to welcome my former colleague. I think we would have played together once or a couple times.
True.
Ray Casimir, he's the coach of the Dominica team. I represented Dominica on a number of occasions, and certainly this one goes just so backward square, and it's taking the David's seam, just looking the plate on the onside, come off seem to be the top of the bat, and was easily taking in that short fine leg position. So Grenada picking up the second wicket, and Ray, just as you sit down,
Yeah.
you didn't want to pick up the second wicket.
Yeah, you took me off the outfield and come in here. I want to say good afternoon to all the listeners. Coach of the Dominica U15. Just lost the wicket there, unfortunately. Our vice captain was looking so well. Yeah, unfortunately. Now that our captain is going out there and back.
Yeah, so one of the things that I have seen, and I spoke about it yesterday in yesterday's game, in terms of you see the top half of the Dominica team really look technically sound, and basically, in my view, all the batters look good. We saw Lewis yesterday; he was really attacking, he played very well. We saw Armstrong, who didn't last long yesterday, but he looked good. He looked good in terms of, you look at his defense, technically correct and everything like that.
Yeah.
And now today, we seen Armstrong again. Now is moving from there and is really developing and playing some good. Particularly a shot that he played down the backward square, ball going down the left side. One of the things that the batters just seem to be getting into the right position, and I think that really goes well for the development.
Yes, yeah. With Armstrong is Dominican. My brother of his mom is Dominican. He lives in Barbados, plays all his cricket in Barbados, and that's where all the cricket they have in Barbados, you could see that he's technically sound. He's looked very good on the front foot. Past 2 games, he didn't come out with runs, but today you can see that he's looking technically sound. He's looking more positive.
So Joseph faces his first delivery, push it back to the bowler. So you say that he played most of his cricket in Barbados?
Yes, that's where he lives. And the captain lives in Barbados. He's Dominican. So he lives in Barbados, go to school in Barbados, play most of his cricket in Barbados. So much cricket in Barbados that are good for them.
Push on the short third man, and Joseph coming off the mark there.
Yeah. And you talk about the win, Lewis. The list is, Dominica, we have an academy, and he's part of the academy.
So I was just about to ask you about that academy. Could you tell us a little bit about, the setup of the academy, how long it has been going, how long this squad of players have been training and so forth. You give us
Well, a few, not all of the boys that are at the academy. A few of them, what happens is at the academy, a certain time they would come together and put some games together to pick at least 15 to 16 boys, and then you'll see them coming back year after year until they can graduate to the academy and move on to the higher height. The academy is not too bad. It helps the youngsters to stay in the game. That's one of the best things that really maybe happened to Dominica so far.
So just to understand the academy, that's ongoing.
Yeah, it's ongoing.
So you have, how do players get in to be a part of the academy? Do we have to, are they being selected by the coaches, or how do we get to be a part of the academy?
Well, as I said, they come down. What happens is, in our school cricket, the academy people who look at the school cricket, and then all the boys that performing at the school cricket,
right.
even at the leagues, that they will stay and look at them, and then they will call them to trials, and those who perform, and then you'll have a set of coaches watching them, and they come together and put a 16 together.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's you look at the school, and then you have your coaches scouting, you pick your best set of players, have some matches.
True.
And they select. I think it's a really, really good thing.
Yeah, because people like Ali Kafanas came from that same academy and all that. A lot of youngsters come from the academy and graduated to the higher high, who playing for Dominica senior team right now.
So we are into the 10th over. Dominica 49 for 2, requiring 73 for victory, with Armstrong 29, Jeshon Joseph on 1. As we see Ethan Abraham picking up the attack from this end, the commentary booth end. And he would be looking to maybe try to pick up a couple of wickets, but so far the Dominica is well placed. First ball played down to third man, just past the first slip fielder. And after they come back for 2, they're a little slow at the fielder going back at third man. The batsmen have the opportunity to pick up 2. That's Joseph. That brings up the 50. 51 for 2. This particular team that is playing, how long was the team together before you all traveled?
Well, we came together, I think, a month and a half before coming here. But what really hold us down was rain. We had a lot of rain back in Dominica. But the good thing that in Dominica now, we have an indoor facility. That's where we would come in the afternoons after school and 3 days in the week and train.
You have an indoor facility in Dominica. How long you had that?
The indoor facility is there for some time, about 5, I think about 5 years, right. or maybe less. I could be corrected. But yeah, there's an indoor facility in Dominica down at the academy. The academy boys use it.
The academy is where, in Portsmouth?
In Portsmouth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying that this squad of players that you have here have been together for what, a month?
Well, under a month. Under a month.
And again,
because
there are lovely shot was going down the leg side and hit for another 6. And Joseph really picking this one up nicely and deposited it over the backward square boundary of more forward mid-wicket and picked up his first boundary, 57 for 2. And Dominica really pushing quickly onto that score at the end of the 10th over. Yes, in terms of the time.
Yeah, because most of the boys are at the high school. We have actually one boy who's Jeshon Tyson, who's at the primary school now, is about 11 years. Even he at the academy now, because all the coaches at the academy saw what he has in him, that they could build him and make him a better person, so they group him into the academy. But our boys come from high school, come from school in the afternoons. Training will start about 2:30, so we'll have buses picking them up from the various areas and taking them down to Portsmouth at the academy and using the indoor facilities. We got a lot of rain, so we could not really use the outside. So, but thank God that the academy, the indoor facility over there to give us, to put this team together.
Yeah, that's so good. The indoor facility makes a big difference. We here, if we haven't rain, there's no way we can do anything, you know. But but the weather back home have been all that bad.
Well, the weather back home, also the rain is still going on. We are the under 23 between Dominica and St. Lucia, and they were games supposed to carry it for Portsmouth, and they had to call them off and put them up to the gardens because Portsmouth was saturated with water and all that.
Wide being bowled there. That's Ron Charles who has picked up the attack. And the score moves to 57 for 2. Apparently, no White this will give him a lot of air. Well, let me say to you that I am very impressed with what I've seen in terms of Dominica players, you know, and I know that some of our senior players here would have expressed the same feeling in terms of what we have seen. Give the indication of your team, this team have been playing cricket together for a very long time. And to be fair, really, what we have seen from Dominica does say to us that they seem to be at another level. I think they're all because of the sort of work. This is why I really want to get an indication of how the preparation went and how things went in terms of the team in their preparation for this tournament.
Well, what really helped us with this preparation, we didn't really get much coming to St. Louis, to Grenada because of the weather. What helped us more is that our school, secondary school tournament, well, just before that, so, and then we still have about 6 or 7 of them from last year under the team. So we're really practically depending on them because they were there 2 years in a row. Because the year before last we won the competition, and last year by 1 we lost it in St. Lucia. So I knew that we had to come back as stronger this year. So in the secondary school cricket, the boys were practically pushing themselves to stay on the team.
59 for 2, and really the end of that over from Ron Charles just seemed to have struggled coming up from there, and they bowling short delivery and wide off the off stump. But Dominica continues to push on, just needing probably for the 14 or so runs to complete the third victory in the tournament in as much game that they have played. But certainly just a bit in terms of the condition here. You would have played at the stadium, you would have played at Lassages, I know you have played at, you're playing today at Bushes U. Your impression of the facilities?
Well, the facilities on them are good facilities, just that all the rain we got. We all know in Bushes U, once rain, the field will be saturated with water and all that. As you can see, the field is now to the sun looking good. Nice pitch. Bowlers can put in the work, bend their back and get some wickets. As you see, our fast bowlers running and getting some wickets early up. Our batters just need to stay there and on this nice batting pitch now and just knock this runs off. Yeah, and down at the stadium, it was just unfortunate that the pitch wasn't that bad, but I give the ground staff a heads up in all the hard work they did for putting a pitch together under short notice, because there was no games at the stadium, If it wasn't for that game at the stadium, we would not really have cricket. So it was kudos to them for putting on some good work so that we could get a pitch to start the tournament. Down at Las Ages, good ground again. The pitch wasn't too bad, just that sometimes the pitch was dying out or was staying on low. There again too, because of all the rain, the ground staff didn't have all the time to put in the work on the pitch. But still for all, we get cricket. All because of Windwards cricket. We're all here to see Windwards cricket move on and to prosper.
So Dominica pushes on to 66 for 2, and Armstrong continued to bat well, picking up a 4 in this over. Then had an easy single. The score now moves to 67. You must be pleased. You must be pleased with your performance of your players, particularly your batters.
Oh yes, I'm pleased. I'm quite pleased. I mean, I always tell them they need to stay in and not long. You have dig in deep, and you can see that Armstrong. 2 games past, haven't gotten no runs. I come to him and tell him, don't get frustrated, don't get down, just keep his head up. Runs going to come, and you can see today he's looking more determined than yesterday, and he's put all that behind him and put his head down to see his team through.
They pick up another single. Is there anything else, just in terms of the accommodation, anything you'd want to talk about, what in you would find here for this tournament?
Well, talking about accommodation, oh man, where we are staying, loved it. Accommodation sleep is good. Just that sometimes some of the food is a bit the boys and them
driven through the cup.
Love the hard food sometimes, and some of the food they're getting, they are not liking it too much. But as I tell them already, we're not home, so everything, they have to make use of everything. They have to be thankful for getting something to eat.
Dominica moves closer to victory, 60. I make it 69 for 2. Certainly, I certainly do want to really thank you for giving us an insight of what have been happening back home in Dominica.
Yeah, well, kudos to the sports division again to the government.
This one is hit down to the fielder on the long on bound. We had some running to do. They just ambled a single. But yes, I know that work is being done in Dominica. Being there a few times, I know what has been happening. But we are seeing the discipline of this team. We are seeing, a level of performance that you really see at an under 15 level, and that's all credit to yourself, the coach, your manager, Thomas Kentish.
Yeah, all credit to sports division, the government too, for taking the fort and holding the boys down and keeping them, paying the bosses to carry them to training. All the work is being done by the sports division, putting the teams together.
And you speak sports division there, I must heal up my good friend Trevor Shillingford.
Oh yes.
Do give him my sentiments. I
will do that.
I hope that he's following us here.
Oh yes, he is.
But I know that also he's one that do tremendous work. I could speak about that. The secondary school games, he have been really in the forefront. So do give him my regards. Certainly probably will hear from him. If he's listening to this, I want to hear from him before the afternoon finishes. So I really want to thank you for coming out and just giving us an insight, Yeah, man. We are happy that we have been able to pull off this tournament in short notice.
Oh, yes.
And despite the weather, we get a sort of rain that we don't often get here.
Yeah.
still being able to pull off this tournament.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Shillingford too for giving me the opportunity to work with the boys and being their coach. Seeing that I have all it takes to take them boys to the higher level and to come in and win championship. I just hope that we go on and finish in the championship.
So the umpire is just trying to find out based on 73 for 2, just to confirm with the scorers. 73 for 2, Dominica winning this game convincingly by 8 wickets. And certainly, as we see, the players going to just. The players going to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
man.
The players would probably just meet and shake. And again, it have been a tremendous performance by the Dominica team, who continue to do well. They won yesterday by 7 wickets. Today they have defeated Grenada by 8 wickets. Again, we've seen the skill, we've seen the talent of the top half of the batting once again doing well for Dominica. And they have now won their first 3 games. The first 3 games that they had played, they win convincingly all those games. I think they would have defeated Grenada for the second time in the tournament. So they must be pleased coming off another victory. Just to give you a little update in terms of the scorecard. Dominica required 73 for victory. They have lost a wicket really in the first over with Lewis going LBW to Bristol, and he didn't score. Then we had Armstrong playing really a good inning, undefeated on 37. And Joseph also undefeated on 16. And Armstrong 37 for 40 deliveries, and he hit 3 fours and 1 6. Davis, he was caught by Francis Bowl Bristol for 14. 21 deliveries, 33 minutes, he hit 1 4. And Joshua Joseph, not out 16, he also had 1 6 and 1 4. We had this pair putting on 25 runs to complete the victory. Dominica ended up with 73 for the loss of 2 wickets. Just a bit of bowling. Bristol 5 overs. He picked up 2 wickets that fell, 2 for 19. Dick 2 overs, none for 14. Scintilla 2 overs, none for 16. Abraham in its 3rd over, none for 17. And Ron Charles just 2 overs, he went for 7. And Dominica here winning in 13, just 13.1 over, 73 for 2, and coming off really victorious in this game. Condition, which is brilliant. The pitch, as was said by the coach of the Dominica team, probably it's one of the better pitches they would have played on in the tournament so far. Pitch play really well, and conditions look really good for cricket. It's just unfortunate that there was not more runs to be made, so it could have been a longer game. But one has, again, to give credit to the Dominica team, who continue to impress all by coming off this victory here today by 8 wickets. And certainly this really bring the curtains down on this game, which would have been the longest format of the game. The aim before we had to cut it because of the weather. And today we was able to play really a longer period of cricket. And Dominica emerging victors once again in this Winlott, Windward Islands under 15 tournament. So we do want to thank you for being with us. It has been another good day for cricket in Grenada. Up at Lassages, we know that St. Vincent is in St. Vincent and St. Lucia is in battle. And certainly we do expect that up there will also be keen. But as we come to the end of this game here, we leave you with the news. Dominica have completed their 3rd victory by defeating Grenada by 8 wickets in this game. We certainly thank you for being a part of us, listening to the broadcast, and we want to especially thank Mikey Live for the support, all the technicalities. We want to thank him for his support, and all of us, from myself, Rafael Crony, Justin Hector, we want to thank you and hope that you will join us when we resume tomorrow, being a rest day on Friday. We resume on Saturday, and we do expect the weather to continue to improve, and we expect another great contest coming out on Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. We hope to start. So once again, thanks for being a part of the broadcast, and we expect you. We ask you to join us on Saturday when we start to bring you commentaries on another game. Forever you are listening, have a good afternoon.